Hi, good morning. Okay. The next is delete statement. So I guess we already have completed that. And based on certain characters, we know how we can perform the delete operation. All right. So next would be undelete and update. Let's try to finish both of them in today's session. So the undelete statement particularly is used to perform the restore operation. Now, before we go further with this, I wanted you to understand one concept which we already have discussed. When we were learning SQL query, we have learned a clause called as all rows. All rows. So what happened in the all rows is like, if I would fire a query, for example, if I would fire a query like this one, even this one would also work. Select count from the hiring manager. So it is giving me like inside the hiring manager, there is 190 cards right now. And if it would give me like, for example, if I would replace this, let's say with ID, comma, name or something like that, again, it's going to display the record. At the same time, it would display the count as well. Now, whenever you fire a query like this, it would give you only those records which are not deleted, right? Which are not deleted. And to a general user, it seems like whenever you delete a record, that goes to recycle bin, right? For a general user, it seems like when you delete a record, it goes to recycle bin. It goes to recycle bin. But we know one thing. I mean, because being a developer, we know one thing. There's no such place called as recycle bin. That is just a way to represent the record where the value of is deleted is true. Otherwise, if you would see is deleted, right? Is deleted is a standard field. Is deleted is the standard field. So if you would now export this once again, you would going to see that inside in this query, I can see only those record where the value of is deleted is false. That means they are not deleted. Because every such record which is deleted, which ideally, I mean, on the visualization, on the user interface, which we see inside in the recycle bin. Because actually, this is just a way to represent the record. Makes the life simple for a general user. But otherwise, actually record does not goes to any place. It remains inside the object for the next 15 days actually. After that, it's going to become hard deleted. That is permanently removed from the object. But at least for next 15 days, the moment when you delete a record from that onward, for the next 15 days, it only remains inside the object. And it does not goes to anywhere else. This is just a way to represent the record. Because these records are those where the value of is deleted is true. And if you wanted to fetch them out, you again wanted to fetch them out, we use a clause called as all rows. We use a clause called as all rows, right? Here it is not possible. I mean, for this, Salesforce Inspector does not allow that. But I have shown you that program in the past. You can refer that video in the SQL part where we were discussing all rows. So all rows basically is that clause by which you can even fetch out those records which are being deleted, where the value of is deleted is true. Where the value of is deleted is true. So I would be using the same inside in this program. So by using this statement undelete, we can literally restore them back. We can restore what we have already stored, and rather they are present inside recycle bin. They have not been transferred. They have not been permanently deleted. They have not been hard deleted. Because see, once the data is hard deleted, where it's gone permanently, there's no way in the Salesforce to restore it back. It's not possible. So if you wanted to restore something, you have a margin of 15 days for that. Beyond that, once the data is permanently deleted, are deleted, There's no way. There's no way that you could restore it. And that is the reason Salesforce has given you that much of buffer time for this. All right, chalo. So let's take a use case, a simple use case with a few of the records which we have deleted. Let's try to restore them back. So I would try to construct this program inside the same class which we have created. This class called DML utility, I guess. So I would be creating one another method inside this DML utility class we already have created. All right, so I would be creating one another method inside that. So public static void, and let's say the method name would be please use HR records. And we would make this method as a parameterized method because I'm going to particularly supply some of the characters like HR or bulk or DM, whatever. I mean, based on that for the query part to fetch them out. So I would be taking string chars. So this is going to be that method. Let me try to save up this first of all. Yeah. Now in the beginning itself, we would be first of all checking the value of this variable and whether this variable string chars really should not equals to null and string chars should not equals to empty. Because the whole logic beyond this, that depends on the value what is just being there inside this. So if it is null and empty, so obviously it's going to terminate the whole thing. So we don't want it to take that risk. And that is the reason I am checking for this. And this we do every time as a part of best practice. Even with the collections, right? Even with the collections, we also check it every time if we are performing any operation that is related to the values of collection. We do the same thing. All right, so let's move further with this. So I would be designing a query on hiring manager for that. So I first of all would take a list of hiring manager, because query is expected to return you multiple records. That's why I'm taking list of hiring managers. So HR records to restore equals to now. Design a query for the select, say ID, and then let's say name, and the value more importantly is deleted. Okay. So I wanted to fetch this all from the hiring manager. Yeah, I wanted to fetch them all from the hiring manager, but I simply don't wanted everything, particularly where the value of first thing is deleted equals to true. This is the first condition. I wanted to only fetch those values, those records, but the value of is deleted is true. That means they are being deleted. They are being deleted. Because if a record is not deleted, if the record is not deleted, for every non-deleted record, the value of is deleted is false, right? But in my query, I'm saying that is deleted should be true. That means I wanted to fetch those records, only those records which actually are being deleted. And where name. Now let me put up like operator, name like. Let's say within this, so this have to be enclosed within single inverted comma. Otherwise, it would going to give you the error. This has to be enclosed, and I have to use two plus statement, two concatenation operators over here, where whatever you have given, right? Whatever you have given. So these are my two conditions. These are my two conditions. The first condition is the value of is deleted is true. I just wanted to fetch those records. which are being deleted, because for deleted record only the value becomes true. And name, I mean, instead of getting everything from the recycle bit, again, I wanted to particularly fetch those records where something matched with the value of this, right? So that's why name like percent symbol. The percent is used to represent every possible combination, including null as well. And then the string chars, this variables. Oh, I have taken something else over here. Right? How does this happens? Anyways, so yeah, this variable, and even after that, I am concatenating plus means anything before that, anything after that. And I'm getting this error. What is that? Let me see. In the aggregate function using LIC. Hiring manager. Select ID, comma, name. Yes. Over here it must have is delete, comma. After that is deleted from hiring manager. Yeah, that was the error. So after name there should be a comma. Got it. Okay. Now, once this, I mean everything. More importantly, I just forgot to the query is incomplete. This query is incomplete without all rows. Because without giving all rows, how could you fetch up those records which have been deleted? Right. So now the query is completed. So we are fetching those records of the hiring manager, particularly where the value of is deleted is true, and the selection matches to what we have provided. The selection matches to which we have provided, and that is the thing. I mean, with what you are inputting into this. And second, the more important thing is all rows. Without all rows, it's not possible. All right, that is the thing. Now, once all those records have been collected, all right, once all those records have been collected, so I would be first of all going to check for null pointer exception, and that is the reason I'm inserting an if clause over here. So if if not of this collection, if not of this collection, dot is empty. Not of this collection is empty. And because is empty is a function, you'll have to write it down like this. So I am checking that some records have been collected, some records have been written by this query. So if this collection is not empty, this collection is not empty. That means via this query, it has received certain records. Via this query, it has received certain records. So I would going to restore them back. All right, I'm going to restore them back. All right, so you can use undelete statement over here, undelete, and then you can simply give the name of this record. But that makes it, if you would use that would make it atomic. All right. So what is going to be happening in this case? We know if I would be using undelete statement, it's perfect. There's no problem. Only if I wanted to maintain the transition, all right, and I don't want it to have the partial processing. In that case, this is good. Otherwise, not. So instead of using undelete, plain undelete statement, rather I would be using database dot undelete. So database dot undelete have all these versions, out of which I would be using this one. I would be using this one, where in the first parameter, there are two parameters, as you can see. There are two parameters. The first parameter is that list collection of all those IDs. It would have IDs, it would have data as well. So the first would be a list collection, the collection which I wanted to restore. The collection which is having all those records which we wanted to restore. That is the first. And the second is Boolean, a Boolean variable The Boolean could be true or false. All right. The more importantly, one thing which we should not forget and which is important to see, what is a return type of database dot undelete. So as you can see, database dot undelete has uh, database dot undelete has a return type as list of database dot undelete result. If you are performing insert operation, it was save result. Database dot save result was the return type. When you are performing delete operation, database dot delete, that time the return type was database dot delete result. When you are performing undelete, that time it is database dot undelete result. So that I was trying to convince, like there are two possibilities. Either you can remember the solve, which is good, which is ideally a good thing. For database dot insert, what is a return type? Database dot save result is that return type. For database dot update, again, it's going to be the save result. For database dot delete, it's database dot delete result. For database dot undelete, for database, what is going this? For database dot undelete, it is database dot undelete result. So it is good thing that if you would, remember them all. And database dot undelete result. Otherwise, even though if you don't remember, that's okay. But at least you should see them when you are using this. You should see them at that moment itself. Because when that intelligence would come, it comes along with what is the return type, how many parameters should this have? Because every information is displayed. You just have to closely watch them, isn't it? All right. So let me now supply this, because we fired the query, collected it inside this. So this first is I'm replacing with this name, and the second. Now you tell me what should be the second parameter. Should it be true or it should be the false? Come on, tell me. You have that command. You can unmute yourself. What should be the second parameter in this case? Either it should be true or false. Yes, come on. This is my third program. So I actually now expect that you can tell me this. What should be the second parameter? A Boolean. Boolean is either true or false. What happens if I replace this with true? Yes, come on, tell me. Yes, what happens if I replace this with true? What would happen? Or what happens if I replace this with false? What happens when I replace this with false? Yes. Hmm. Right. No one is interested in giving the answer for this. That's really strange. Hmm? No one? That's a bit strange thing. All right then. If you would give a plain undelete statement, that plain undelete statement or any DML statement, any, not just with undelete. If your DML statement is insert, update, delete, undelete, merge, all of them are atomic in nature. All of them does not provide you the facility of partial processing. All of them would maintain their transactions. And there is a drawback that even if a single record would get failed, everything, whole batch would be getting rolled back. And this happens with every one of them. If you are using insert, if you are using update, if you are using delete, undelete, whatever. So how to provide the facility of partial processing? For that, we have learned something called as database class methods. Instead of using insert, you can use database.insert. Instead of using update, you can use database.update. Instead of using delete, you can use database.delete, and instead of using undelete, I can use database.undelete. I can use database.undelete. I can use database.undelete. But if you are using, I'm getting certain error. See to that error as well. So if you are using database class methods, variable does not access database. Okay, I'll see to this. So if you are using database class methods, if you are using a database class method, there are three different forms of that. I can directly give database.undelete and this like this, database.undelete like this. I can only give this one parameter, but that doesn't make any difference. Apart from that, you are going to collect the result. You are going to collect the result. You are going to collect the result. See, we have to define an array or this collection. That's why error was coming. So if you would just give statement like this, that doesn't make any difference between a plain undelete and a delete. This also maintains the transaction and does not provide you facility of partial process. So there is another form of that. This with along with the two parameters. But if the second parameter, if you would write down true over here, second parameter, if you would kept it as true, again it is one and same. Again it is one and same thing. So in ideal, see, in every circumstances where you wanted to maintain the transaction, you wanted to avoid the transaction and you wanted to have the partial processing facility, compulsory this second parameter should always have to be the false. All right, that is what is very. Now please don't forget this. Right, please don't forget this. This I have discussed with every statement. Right from the insert, I'm telling you the same thing. All right. So let me try to restore something. So what are there inside delete? DML. Let me try to give this DML. All right. So let's execute this program. I would be executing. And this is the name. Let me give, let's say, DML. All right. So on those records where there is a DML, on those records inside recycle bin where there is a DML, they are going to be get restored back. So if I would go to the hiring manager object, and if I would go with all records, I can see there are 109 records right now. Let's see what happens after restoring some of the records. So I'll execute this. I would execute this, and because this have been executed, let's go back and let's try to restore. So you can now see that I guess 100 records have more been added. 100 records have been added because no, 200 records have been added. It was 109, now it becomes 309. So there were 200 records inside recycle bin where there was a DML statement. Now they have been restored back. All right. So that was the first thing. That was the thing. All right. So that was about like how you can restore the records. Let's now complete this discussion. There's only one thing left, and it is update. And it is update. Let me take that program as well. How you can use an update. Just give me 2 more minutes. I'm going to take this program right now. All right. Let's now take how we can use the update statement. And let's finish out this discussion. In the next session, we are going to start with the new topic. Yes. So I wanted to update a few of the hiring manager record, let's say where there is a DML. So right now we just have restored few of them, right? If I would go with the hiring manager and I can this record, let's say. So these are some of the records. We just have restored them. So what we wanted to update over there, we wanted that their location should be becomes Mumbai and the contact number should be. So you can take any program out of this. There's no. So if I would go with these records, and particularly if I would see the DMLs, all of them are having this location, and this is the contact number. So common contact number and common location, all 200 records having the same, right? Now let me try to make certain updations. The important thing to understand is how we can use the update statement or database.update. So let's go to the same class and let me now create another method inside that. Yes. So I would be creating another method inside this for performing this update operation. Let me create a method called as public static void, and let's say the name of the method is update HR records. This is the method. This is the method which we wanted to update. Now, now, so I would be designing an SQL query for this, first of all. And let me copy the name, the API name of the object. So I would be writing like list of hiring managers, first of all, LST job records to update. You can give any name. Try always to give the significant name. That's what I used to say every time. Select ID and select name. Select let me get the field's name as well. Just a moment. Let me design the query over here so it becomes a little easy. Location. And we are updating what? We are updating the phone number. So contact number, I guess. Yes. So these are some of the fields which I wanted. So now let me copy this query. I will be pasting out it over here. So select all these from the hiring manager. Select all these like ID, name, location, contact number value. And I wanted to fetch all these from the hiring manager, but this is not a random selection. I have a condition to impose. So my condition would be like where inside in the name, right? Where inside in the name, it should have like, it should have a name like DML, name like DML. But when you are applying DML, it should be anything before that, or it could have anything after that. So I'm imposing this condition like percent DML percent. So this is what, this is, yes, it will going to work. It will, because we are not collecting it randomly, we are not collecting it from any variable. That's why I can give it like this. All right. So this would, if I would fire the same query, see if I would fire the same query over here, where name like percent DML. So this is going to return me all those records where there is a DML in their name. There are 200 records. All right, there are 200 records in which they have DML. Maybe whatever is percent, when I give percent in the beginning, it means whatever is there in the beginning. Because all of these records, they have DML in the first position. If you want, you can even remove the first percent, or particularly over here. It would still give you the same, because DML is the first word or character, whatever it is. So because that present in the first position, we can remove that. It's up to you. It's simply up to you. Now, so I know that this query is going to return me 200 records. That's why we have user collection and we have stored them inside this collection. Now I would be iterating each of them. Before iteration, as usual, we have this best practice to check whether this collection is not of this collection is empty. So this collection ideally should not be empty. Otherwise, it's going to return me null pointer exception. ये भी ले जाओ. ये लेके चलो. Now, so I would be iterating every record out of this collection. So I'm using a for loop for this. So this collection, this is which collection? Every record which I would be iterating having a data type of hiring manager. All right. So, and let me have a local variable. And so this is my for loop. So I would be iterating every record out of this. And what I wanted to change, what we wanted to change, we wanted to change the contact number and the location value of this, right? So, but location is a pick list, right? And when you are updating that location, you must select the value which is present inside the pick list. If you try with some another value, you can try seeing that it will going to give you the error because it would try to find out that value which is not over there. So I would be updating. So I have to refer it from the HR dot location equals to, let me give a value like it is already Nagpur. Let me give a value like Pune. And then HR dot like contact number. Let me have a value. Let's have a value of 0. And once that everything has been committed, once everything has been committed, once every record inside this has been iterated, right? Inside what to say? Inside in this collection, once every record has been iterated one by one, one by one. So out of the loop, out of the loop, I would be performing an update state. Now this you can see. Update, what I wanted to update. I wanted to update this. The same HR Studio update. Yes, this one. I wanted to update this one. All right, so this is one way. This is one way to do that. Where just a moment, what is the error? Let me try to see. Oh, gone. Yes. So this is one way. This is one way to do that. Now another way could be another way could be, instead of using an update statement, you can simply use database dot update. Database dot update. So if you're using database dot update, if you're using data, which version we are going to use? So yes, this one, which is highlighted right now. So in the first, it would have two parameters. First of all, the first parameter is going to be that collection, which we wanted to update. The second is Boolean, true or false, but we would give false over here. And see what is the return type, database.save result. So this database.save result is same, even though if you are using an insert statement, database.insert, if you are using that time also, this is your return type. Or else if you're using database.update, that time also it is your return type. So it is something you can write it down. If you wanted, that would be a good thing. So for database.insert and database.update, for database.insert and database.update, the return type is database.save result. Or if you are using database.insert, or else if you are using database.update. So for both of them, the return type is list of, not just database.save result. List of और array दो में से कोई भी रहेगा एक, या तो आप array यूज कर लो या list यूज कर लो. So it would always be either list of or array of database.save result. When if you are using database.insert or database.update. And if you are using database.delete, that time it would be list of database.delete result. Right now we just have used database.undelete. So for database.undelete, it would be database.undelete result. Right. So this is very simple to memorize, although it's not a big deal because the name seems to be very same what you are trying to perform the operation. So we try to give that return type first of all, database. Database dot save result. But I'll have to make a list collection or an array. That is very important. LST2 update. So this is the place where update results. Update results, right? This is the place where everything is going to get stored. Now the first parameter should always be that collection which you are trying to update. So I have collected, I have stored everything inside in this collection. So I would be giving the name. The second parameter would be false. Why false? Because if I wanted the facility of partial processing, the second parameter should always be the false, right? So it's really up to you whether you wanted to use a plain DML statement, whether you wanted to use a plain DML statement, or you wanted the database dot version of that, like insert statement or database dot insert, update or database dot update, delete database dot delete, undelete database dot undelete. So it's really up to us what we wanted to perform, or it depends significantly on what type of operation you wanted. So I have told you the exact differentiation between a plain DML statement and its database dot class version. All right. So that's up to you. So I would be updating this now. Let me execute this program. So great. I have saved this. Save this now. I would go with like it's not taking, so I'll have to copy this. DML utility dot update HR records. Let me execute this. Okay, so for all of them, as you can see, we have this Nagpur and this contact number. Let me try to refresh them. So we see this location value and the contact number, they are being updated, and they have been updated for all 200 records, right? They have been updated for all of the 200 records. All of the 200 records. Okay. Now that was like how to use a DML statement. I'm giving you a small assignment over at this moment. Please write this down. You have to study the merge statement. Merge. Merge is applicable only with few of the objects. You cannot apply it for every object. There is a restriction. There is a restriction, like you can use insert, update, delete, undelete with every object. With every object. Merge particularly can be used with only few of them. So I'm giving you this assignment and I wanted you to find out the where exactly which object permits you to allow, permits you to use the merge statement. And then please post your answer in your WhatsApp group. I am giving you the assignment. When you do this, how should I, how will I would know that you have completed those assignments, working into that. Unless and until you post them, you post them into your WhatsApp group. And don't send me anything in the person. I haven't stored anyone's number. I don't know who's sending all this to me. It seems to be an unknown number for me. So whatever the communication you wanted to have with me, you wanted to show me something, you wanted to ask me anything, that should be restricted within your group. So find out what are those objects in Salesforce on which you can apply merge. And by the way, how to apply them and how to apply them. If you are using a merge statement, how to apply them. First is the question number one is on which object of Salesforce you can apply the merge statement. That is the first question. Second, how to apply them. If you are applying them, how to apply them. And then add one more question to this. Like for insert, we have database.insert. For update, we have database.update. So similarly for merge statement, do we have any separate method inside database class for merge statement? Try to find out that. So these three are the open questions which I'm giving to you. Do your work onto this and submit whatever is your finding. Try to submit this on your WhatsApp group. All right. That's all today. And this completed the DML. From the next session, I'm going to start with asynchronous programming. That's again a video. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Yes, any questions? So after asynchronous, there would be triggers. After triggers, there would be test classes, I guess. Let me see. For that, the option is completed. Trigger, yes, there are test classes. Good. Yes. All right. See, one important thing. One important thing. अच्छा हुआ मुझे याद आया. See, just a minute. Yeah. I would be uploading. I would be uploading Visual Force lectures to your drive. Just a minute. You have to study this by your own. I am uploading in your drive. In your drive. See to this. I'm doing it right now, live. So everyone, please concentrate. So in your drive, inside in this folder itself, because if I would make another folder, I would have to share it once again. So what I would be doing is just a moment. So I would be giving the name as VF Programming 1 and 2 and 3 likewise. Just give me a minute. Let me finish this up. See, understand one thing. The Visual Force programming, listen this carefully. Visual Force programming nowadays have been completely replaced, and it's being replaced with the Lightning page, all right? But why should we study them? Why should we study this? Although it's being replaced, yeah. If you are designing an user interface in these days, we usually don't use Visual Force programming. But what about those products which already have been developed, right? So you never know what is going to be your project. What is going to be your project? 1, 2, 3, 4, and this. What is going to be your project when you join a company? What is going to be your project? It's not coming in sequence. I'll have to rename this. Anyways, so if they would ask you, if they would ask you to work on any such project which already have been created and is being deployed, all right, then probably you would require the knowledge of all those things which is even outdated. For example, if they would ask you to make changes in any process builder, you should know the process builder, you should know the workflows, right? In the same way, Visual Force is an outdated technology. There is no doubt into this. These days, nobody is using that. But we should learn at least so that if we are supposed to make any changes, we should know that. We should know that. That's the reason. But I'm giving you this whole for your own self-study, and these are my sessions, so you can get it straightly. There's no one session. These are all my sessions. Just you'll have to study it by your own. Let me make the sequencing properly. I would have to rename them like this. So 1, 2, 3 should come in the beginning to make it properly sequenced. Otherwise, आपको sequencing में दिक्कत हो जाएगी. 2, and then it's 3, and 4. So this part, you would going to make a self-study of this. You will have to study this by your own. 5, 6. And you can start it from today itself, right? You can start it because this is absolutely a distinguished topic. It doesn't have any links, any dependencies on any another topic. So you could merely start this by today itself. It's entirely a new concept. It does not require to have any understanding with the previous one. You can start it. You can start it from today itself. All right. So there are total 8 sessions. There are 8 sessions. I'm uploading this into your drive, into this folder itself. Otherwise, I'll have to, if I would create a separate folder, I'll once again will require to share that. So inside into this, I would be uploading. So I'm uploading all these 8 lectures to your drive. You just have to find them out, download them as well, and probably I'm not sure whether you I have announced this or not. Start downloading all sessions from this drive. Admin, I know you already did that. You can even do with the development. Everything, see, every lecture, just keep it with yourself, all right? Although I don't remove access of anybody, but still I wanted you to have this all. तो आप अपने पास सब कुछ डाउनलोड करके रख लिया करो एडमिन का बिकॉज आई वाज अबाउट टू रिमूव दैट मैंने बोला आप सभी को बट डेवलपमेंट जो है ना एडिटेबल एक्सेस रहता है आप सभी को मैंने ये निकाला नहीं है यू कैन सिंपली डाउनलोड दैट एट योर एंड तो जितने भी सेशंस होते हैं उसको धीरे धीरे करके अपने पास डाउनलोड करके रख लो ठीक है एंड रेफर दिस ऑल 8 सेशंस ऑफ विजुअल फर्स्ट प्रोग्रामिंग दिस इज योर सेल्फ स्टडी एरिया ठीक है बिकॉज अभी by tomorrow I'm going to start with asynchronous उसके बाद में एक टॉपिक है ट्रिगर उसके बाद है टेस्ट क्लास आफ्टर दैट इट वाज विजुअल फोर्स प्रोग्रामिंग व्हिच आई एम गिविंग यू मैंने 3 टॉपिक पहले आपको वो दे रहा हूँ सो 3 टॉपिक पहले देने का मतलब यही है कि जैसे आई वुड अज्यूम जैसे कि मैं ट्रिगर अपना मैं टेस्ट क्लासेस खत्म करूंगा उधर आपका वो भी खत्म हो चुका हो एंड वी वुड स्ट्रेटली माइग्रेट आवरसेल्फ टू दी इंटीग्रेशन इंटीग्रेशन में एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम आएगा जहां पर विजुअल फोर्स प्रोग्रामिंग पे मैंने फ्रंट एंड बना रखा है तो उस वक्त वो फ्रंट एंड आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि हाउ दिस फ्रंट एंड इज एक्चुअली वर्किंग उसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंटली ये है कि आपका ये पूरे सेशंस हो जाने चाहिए ठीक है तो अभी उसके लिए समय है इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक आई गेस 20 days आर देयर मे बी मोर देन 25 days वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए या पूरा महीना ही है उसके लिए तो 8 सेशन है ये समझ लो कि आपको कंप्लीट करने के लिए ऑलमोस्ट एक 20 दिन है इसके पास इसकी जरूरत आपको 20 दिन बाद महसूस होगी ठीक है चलिए so development में we have 3 more upcoming topics asynchronous programming after that there would be triggers and test classes these are 3 topics left it out with the development the fourth I have given you right now for the self study उसके बाद में after that so it would be probably this month ये पूरा month लग जाएगा in that after that I'm going to start with integration and deployment so if I'm assuming this properly we can finish them out the whole thing in the month of July so I'm expecting that in the next month itself we are about to end I mean from my side your syllabus is going to be get over yeah that's all anything you wanted to discuss any questions